Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, 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 Kyle Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, the great millstone, honors and salutations to you walking out there laboring in this truth. All right, the show, we're going to call it, you signed up for a check, now it's time for you to check out, okay? Simple and plain, you know, as you see the headline in this article, Connecticut National Guard unit prepares for deployment. Now, a lot of idiots, all right, and I'm not speaking about the elect, because, you know, you have a lot of brothers that are of the elect that was into the military, and maybe there might be some still in there now that are just now waking up. The Lord, because every man wakes up when the Lord put the spirit on you to wake up, and they're denouncing it, getting the hell up out of there, right? So I ain't speaking about the sincere brothers that are the hopeful elect, you know, because a lot of brothers will, you know, have a military background, so forth and so on, which is the same thing that was going on back in the ancient Roman Empire. All right, Rome, a lot of the Israelites, or what were being called the Jews, which is our people, okay, not the pseudo Jews, but the true Jews of that time, which is our people, were all throughout the Roman army and even became Caesars, governors, and things of that nature, just like you see today. But now you got a lot of people, especially this generation, and when you look at, you know, and you see how the Mosai said that these men are going to be like women. You look at the military now versus like World War One. World War One, at least they with the soldiers and everything, look, they more rugged, they more manly. Now you got fucking little straight up, you got babies up in it. You know, the dudes look like little girls and shit. They, you know, smooth face, don't even look like they got a mature bone in their body, some of them, but they out there. And a lot of them thought that they were just gonna do, because, you know, they think, they make it seem like that's the thing to be. You know, they push that, you know, and that's the pride. The scriptures say the pride of our heart have deceived you. They make you feel proud to be a American and join the U.S. service, where their wicked is all hell. All right, ain't nothing righteous, ain't nothing happy about being in a so-called American, which is a fictitious. It's not even a real nationality. Is you know, more lies that they made to cover up, you know, all the wickedness, all the murder, the bloodshed, you know, raping, robbing, all the treachery that they've done on this earth, primarily to the real chosen people. I don't know what the hell that herpy lip Michael Rappaport nigga was talking about. You're not the chosen people. You better hope that you really got so-called black blood in you, you know. But aside from that, y'all not the real chosen. We've been the chosen people. Y'all been running around with our identity because why? You're empowered. But now anyway, the Most High, this is all part of the Lord's, and we've been saying it because this is also going to lead to the draft after they extend themselves, right? Because now they've been calling back the National Guard. Right here, they're telling you in Connecticut they're getting ready to deploy, and you know they got. Of course, they're gonna say, "Hey, well, this is why I signed," but they don't. A lot of people that signed up to join the army and the military thought that it was just gonna be a thing. We're never gonna have war. It's probably when they enlisted, it wasn't no real war times. You know, might have been little conflicts or whatever, and they signed up. They might have been a part of supplying, you know, going to certain war ravaged areas, supplying, bringing supplies. They ain't know that they're gonna be in the actual thick of the battle. Then it's gonna go deeper, man. Like we've been prophesying and telling you that all these armies are gonna stop fighting each other to fight the Lord when the Lord returns, and that's the time that we in. So things are continually heating up. It's not gonna never stop. It's not gonna be a period. It's not gonna be a period like, wow, the last 5-10 years, man, we had no and since this devil been in power, really, there's never been a peaceful time since King Solomon, really, where it was total peace on the earth. And this is probably the most war ravaged times that we're in now. All right, going second to probably, or the ancient Roman Empire is probably second to right now, which this is the Roman Empire. But anyway, before I go into this, I'm gonna hit scripture real quick. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and it's all about prophecy, man. Like the pop star brought out Chat GPT. Yeah, well, that's one thing they got right about us. Yes, we focus heavy on prophecy, and you be a fool not to. Everything that's happening now is what? It's prophecy. All right. So now this is I'm gonna start. Now I'm gonna go to 25. Jeremiah 51 and 25. It said, I'll start at 24. It says, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea, right? One of the cities of Babylon. Babylon here is speaking about really America, man. So you got to understand the prophecies, man. This book is alive, man. Okay, this ain't speaking about back in what happened. Nah, this is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's historic, of course. And again, the scriptures back up history repeating itself, but really this is really dealing with now. So the Lord said he's going to render, meaning pay back to Babylon, which America is Babylon the Great, or the virgin daughter of Babylon. It says what? I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion, in your sight. Zion is us, all people, man. Talking about from taking this land from the indigenous Native American Indians, North, Central, South America, and up to Canada. That's our land. And there's plenty of receipts and stories speaking about how they murdered us and they did, gave us diseases, starved us out. They did us dirty. To this day, they still ain't stopped. So the Lord said he's going to render them, and he's going to pay them back. We're in the time of the judgment of the great whore, which is America. We've been telling you these things, man. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. Mountain in the Bible represents what? Government, right? That's why they have what's called a summit meeting with all the presidents and prime ministers and top officials meet. A summit is known as the peak of a mountain. All right, so they're saying that's where the brass meets. All right, so this is what the Lord said. All right, so it says Salakia. It says, and I will render unto Babylon unto the inhabitants of Chaldea all the evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. All right, it's the Lord saying it. The scriptures tell you in the Apocrypha that the Lord shall threaten. So the Lord is sending out the threats, the warnings. He's warning you that he's about to turn your whole empire upside down. That's why these things are happening to Esau, the devil, the so-called white man. All right, and these other nations. The Lord is gathering them all together for this great battle. Right, so that's why, again, going to the article I'm going to get into, which they've been, calling back certain military, personnel. And remember, you're a GI. You signed up. So they could do whatever they want. They could sit there and throw you right in the middle of a war that has nothing that you probably against. Right? Because you got a lot of the soldiers, a lot of American soldiers, because they see the shit. And when they're over there in a lot of these different situations, being under fire, a lot of them tend to stop and think, what the fuck are we doing here? And it's always been that way, going back to now. All right? In other wars that they use our people. I'm talking about the so-called blacks and Latinos and Native American Indians. Because we, they talk all the shit they want. We held them down in those wars. The way that they fought or was victorious was because of the blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice of our people. But now, be that as it may, they was going off anyway, because you ain't supposed to be in this devil's army. This devil, that's the battle of Armageddon, is the Lord himself, the son of the Most High, whose real name is Yahweh Shai, not that Jesus Christ that they used to teach. That was always a falsehood. Yahweh Shai is his real name. He's coming back with the League of Angels, which are the so-called UFOs, in the battle of Armageddon. Armageddon meaning the mount of the troops, right? So what's the troops? The armies of America, which is Babylon the Great. They're going to all join together, right? Because they already, spoke on this, and they know about what they call the outside threat, which is the Lord coming back. So if you join this man's military, you're an enemy of the Lord. So if you're in the military and you're sincere and you're a real believer of the Most High, you better do everything in your power to get the fuck up out of there and seek the Lord, man, while he may be found, and repent. All right? And there's many of men and brothers who have done it, But anyway, back to the scripture. It says, behold, I am against the destroying mountain, which is talking about America. America's that government that destroys everybody, everywhere they go. See what they did? They just sat there and falsely, which, again, that's not per se our people, although we got our people scattered everywhere. But they went over there and bombed the hell out of Iran, bombed hospitals, this, that, and the third, right? And then they're going to cry foul when some shit allegedly happens to them, which they're known for staging events to make it look, people to draw sympathy and make it look like they're being the victims when they're the ones starting all the shit and doing all the underground nasty shit, right? So anyway, the Lord said he's against this society, which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Meaning what? With those nuclear missiles, the Lord is going to set those missiles off, man. And they're going to sizzle America the fuck up. It said, and they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate for, meaning this destruction that's coming, you're not going to be able to rebuild nothing. Talk about a freedom tower, this and that. This is it, man. The Most High, you ain't going to be able to rebuild this place again, man. All right? And then that's what Yahweh Shai was speaking about. What's that? Matthew's 24, the throwback. Let me see if I can. Yeah, Matthew's 24, right? And I'll start at 1. It said, and Yahweh Shai went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple, right? And this was the sacred holy temple, right? And Yahweh Shai said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. See, the Lord said that. Look, even over there in Israel, them rats are there. So they, the Most High gonna spray the nuclear missiles like roach spray, man. All right, like raid. Okay, to get rid of them damn rats and cleanse the land. They polluted the land. The land is filthy. The homeland, which is that's our land, Israel, right? It ain't them. But they took it, right? Which the prophecy said they would, and they did all kind of. And they're doing abominations in it. So the Lord, when the Lord spoke this, he was speaking about the time we're in now. All right, because like we used to bring out back in the days, there's remnants of, if they didn't knock it down already, Peter's house and other ancient, buildings of that time. So the Lord said that there's not going to be one stone left. All right. So Yahweh Shai said that straight up. So again, that's going back into 26, Jeremiah 51 and 26. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for the foundations, because that's how you build the foundation, meaning they're not going to be able to rebuild, right? Because the Lord said not one stone. Everything is going to be destroyed, leveled, okay? It said, but thou shalt be desolate forever, see? Saith the Lord, set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet, and that's the prophets, man. The standard is what? The word of the Lord, the Bible, all right? We out here teaching and preaching and prophesying in the true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through his son, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, that the Lord is coming back, he's going to destroy this place. And a lot of these people that, well, unless they're of the elect, the Lord is going to be with them to get them out of there. But they're merely just pawns. They're part of the sacrifice, man. And a lot of times these people in the military, because they taught, they're proud and they think they see combat and all kind of other different shit. So they think that makes them on a higher level. No, not necessarily. Actually, you're not on a higher level because you're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong team. You're on the wrong side of history. All right? Now, at least the Lord pull you from out of that shit and you repent and you're of the elect. Other than that, that don't make you're not no better than nobody. All right? You're gonna die to death. All right? The Most High gonna destroy he ain't gonna sit there, because right now if something happens to military men or whatever, oh my God, he was so noble, and they give you they give you a 21 gun salute, maybe send a flag home or whatever. But really, in the eyes of the Most High, you an abomination. All right, because you're part of this beast system, his army, the army of the beast. Okay. So it says, set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations, right, against her. Call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenazi, which those are all areas, Middle East, close by Iran and all them different areas, right? Appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Yeah, the military, the tanks, and all of their military fighter jets and everything, right? Because if you look at the tanks, the way they're designed with all the wheels and the track, they move like a caterpillar, right? The army tanks. But the Lord is saying He's gonna raise all them up. Prepare against her, the nation with the kings of the Medes, which what? That's what? Persia, the Iranians. All right. It said the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon. And that's what's happening now. That's exactly what's happening. Okay, that's why you go to Job, the 18th chapter. All right, I'll just go there real quick. Right, well, it's gonna be hard. Let me just start at 5. Job 18 and 5. Yea, the light of the wicked, the light of the what? The so-called white man is the actual wicked. You got all people that do wickedness, but the actual wicked is the so-called white man, pursuant to the Bible. Okay, and again, like the apostles always say, man, we ain't, look, if you can't get it, then we don't, that's on you. Tough titty, man. We got it. You know what I'm saying? We got it. And you can't get it, and especially if you're an Israelite, you can't get it. I mean, the Most High doesn't want you to get it. You know, you're going to see, though, and you will know that the prophet's been amongst you. You know, even though you got other guys now trying to, so to speak, you know, prophet biters, I guess you could call them, I don't know, sit there and condemn us for teaching about the end times and call us fear mongers and all that. Now they out there trying to slip in and teach, but they ain't coming all the way clean with it, not yet, but more and more, because look, and we all said it. I said it to everybody through the Spirit. You're going to have to talk about what GMS, Great Millstone, is talking. With all the hate we got, the Lord, there's a reason why we have the greatest impact, so to speak, is because why? We got the 100% truth. All right? And we stood faithful and bold in defending the truth, right? And proclaiming the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua when everybody's against us, man. That just makes us stronger. The more you scoff, the stronger we get. All right? And we know that the Most High going to tighten you scoffers up, man. He's going to put you out, put your light out too. But it said, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle. See? Talking about the rulership, the kingdom of the so-called white man. And his candles shall be put out with him. Because remember, at one time, they were the beacon of light. That's why in Isaiah the 14th chapter, it says, O Lucifer, how art thou fallen from heaven? Right? I'll read that real quick. It's straight to it. Ezekiel, Isaiah 14. Right? Isaiah 14. See, man, that's one thing. But it's beautiful how these scriptures link up with each other and how they prophesy against, you know, this devil and speak about this World War III, the battle of Armageddon, the returning of the Lord. This is beautiful, man. But this is Isaiah 14 and 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Meaning destruction. It ain't speaking about no place with eternal fires, you know, the Lord's going to, like a bowl, he's going to pluck them into an everlasting burning boat. Nah. Speaking about destruction, slavery, right? It said it stirreth up the dead for thee, meaning the other nations that was once put down, right? The other nations, the weak is saying it's strong. It says, it has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, see? And that's why now they're defying the United States. One minute they talk about we having peace, next minute bombs are going off and all kind of shit is popping off. Well, that's the spirit. That's the time that we in. Spontaneous, sporadically, out of the blue, you're going to be seeing destruction, man. All right? Basically, the whole world is going to be living in terror. Okay? You could go from being, you know, at a downtown place eating, you know, whatever, some filter fish, whatever these devils be snacking on, you know, and then boom, fucking bombs just go off, or a gunman come out of nowhere, somebody, a wild nigga stabbing everybody, you know, or an actual demon or an actual angel. All right, sometimes the Most High let the angels be made visible in the destruction and the storms and the fires. We in a time of judgment, and it's gonna come unexpectedly, man, unexpectedly. All right. The Lord said he's coming as a thief in the night. Even though the men of the Lord, the prophets, the true prophets is telling you that the Lord is coming back and the Lord is coming back for vengeance. We ain't giving you that bullshit Christian rap. Oh, Jesus love and all hands together. He come back, he love and accept it. We ain't telling you that bullshit, man. We telling you the straight skinny, man. The Lord coming back to do some killing. And there's scriptures in the Bible that go all, that's topic within itself, the killing of the Lord. When the Lord returns, he said, the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right, you go into what is it, Isaiah 63. You know, who is this that come from Basra? With his, you know, we go there. There's all kind of scriptures telling you how the Lord is going to be doing all that killing, man. Right? This is the times we in. But anyway, it said, even all the chief ones of the earth, it has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also, meaning America, the so-called white man, become weak as we? Because remember, once they dropped that bomb, Hiroshima and all, that was it. The earth stood quiet. Everybody bowed down. Now everybody got their weight up. The Lord had, that's why I said that they raised up from the grave. Now they all ready. So they like, look, you got missiles, we got missiles. We got better missiles. We got quicker missiles than your missiles. They popping that shit because, you know, I'm just saying it in straight up layman's terms, so to speak. So if thou become weak as we, or thou become like unto us, thy pomp is brought down to the grave in the north. Speaking about America, man, the good old America ain't gonna never be great again. All right, it said, in the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee. That's corrosion. The worm represents corrosion and corruption, man. And if you see anything all throughout America, the whole America is corroded. Everything is from everything. This infrastructure, the society is a societal collapse. All right, morally, the health of people, everything is on a decline, rapid. Okay, how the food, spoke briefly with the Elder Malcolm, right, and he was hipping me to a point, because since they've been having these major ice raids and everything, they haven't been able, because see, the so-called immigrants or whatever, which are really the real Israelites, the real future rulers of this earth, but us, the ones that they're sitting there slandering, rounding up, ice and all that stuff, we make this world go round. So the littlest things such as having eggs, orange juice and everything, right? That's because of what? You got slave labor of the, that the other the so-called white man wouldn't do a lot of this. He's not gonna be sitting out there in the hot sun, harvesting the oranges, picking oranges, taking care of, crops and all. He's not gonna be doing that. So now a lot of the crops are rotten. All right, and that's why they pushing this GMO food. So everything, the worm is spread all over America, man. This is what it's speaking about. It's saying the worms cover thee. See, corrosion has covered this place, man. Everything is, they trying to build, the Lord said, but the Lord's going to destroy them. But now it said, how art thou fallen from heaven? Meaning what? A position of rulership, decadency. At one time, America was said to have streets paved with gold. So the Lord said, how'd you fall from heaven? Oh, Lucifer, excuse me, son of the morning. Right, and the Lord said, oh, Lucifer. Now, Lucifer means light bearer. That's all it means. It don't mean the devil, Satan. It means a light bearer, a beacon of light. So when you in power, you got the light. That's why I say you shining. All right? Went back in ancient Egypt when the famine hit, right? Based off the dream that the Lord gave to Joseph. The Lord had Joseph break down to the Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the beacon of light. Everybody had to come to Egypt to eat. Well, everybody got to come to America. Most people that come to America, their countries and islands are 1,000 times better, less polluted. But the problem is they're depleted. So they need to come here for what? For work. And then they're told stories of how luxurious it is and everything. Then they come over here and get turned out or destroyed. All right? But it said, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut to the ground, down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? Okay? So that's what's going on, man. So now real quick, I'm gonna go back to the scripture. But I want to play a little bit of this video. I'll read some of it. Salakia. It says, Connecticut National Guard unit prepares for deployment. A unit of Connecticut Army's National Guard is preparing to deploy to the Middle East this fall. So there's a lot of training. And the thing is, we've been saying it, the apostles been saying it, we all been saying it It's going to be a draft as well, because this is a real situation. See, this ain't the last thing. No, it's a rumor of war, but the thing is, this is real. This is prophecy. So these things are going to keep increasing like labor pains, man. And it's going to intensify on more and more levels. And unexpectedly, they're going, oh shit, they shut power out to this city or this and that. Oh, it might be we got intel that there's going to be what you call it, attack. You know, they talking about the cells. They do, and again, a lot of this stuff the government creates. They create it so they could pass policy, man. All right, because they want to usher in a NWO, the New World Order, with the MOTB, where everybody has to have it, as the scriptures prophesied, man. Going back to prophecy, man. Okay, but they say the deployment was planned long before the tensions in the region flared, which is bullshit. As a result of they saying it ain't because of that. No, it is. That's all. It has everything else to do with it. It said the campaign of strikes waged by Israel and the United States against Iran's military infrastructure and their nuclear program, which they brought out that they didn't. It wasn't no nuclear. All them bombers that super bombed, they bombed everything. You know, and Nero Trump with his old lion pompous ass. All right, that's it. It's over there, done. We successful. We bombed down. There's no longer a threat. Then just to find out, they said, look, where you bombed was nothing but villages. They said there's no nuclear activity, nothing going on there. So it's showing you it was all a farce, but the Lord is putting a spirit on these devils to do these things, man, to lead them right into their fucking destruction, man. You know, so we're all for it. So anyway, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. I'm gonna finish out on the scriptures. I mean, you know, you get the gist of that. There's gonna be more deployments and everything. We've been saying it, you know, and the scripture's gonna go into it, man. All right. It says the steps of his strength shall be straightened, meaning position of difficulty, and they are having they've been having difficulty, because at the end of the day, and even though we hasten in the day, this devil can't do nothing more than what the Lord allows him to do, right? And I can't wait till this thing is over with, man. All these pesky costs, diseases, being in this fucking bullshit ass, polluted ass society, this wicked kingdom. All that shit's gonna be an afterthought, man. But anyway, reading on, just bear with me. It said, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. And you got Edomites. Now, there's another thing I was talking about with the elder, and he agreed, you know, and he's a little older than me in age and years, right? And you brothers that been here, old brothers, young brothers, I've never seen the so-called white man as divided at this country. The so-called white, I've never seen so much division, different groups condemning Edomites, condemning other Edomites. We used to them talking shit about niggas, right? But it's different when you hear different crackers talking shit about other crackers. You know, it's different and on different levels. You know, Republicans against Republicans, not just against Democrats, but Republicans against Republicans. You know, all of that, man. Trump and Elon, all that shit happening. That's the Lord, man. All right. So it says, his own counsel shall cast him down, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The gens shall take him by the hill, and the robbers shall prevail against him. Yeah, the other nations, the Most High is going to allow, Esau's going to be robbed of his glory, which ultimately is going to be the Most High. Those missiles that they got is the Most High. He allowed them to be created. Excuse me. So terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. So that's what's happening. You see? That's what's happening right now. So now that's why they preparing drafts and everything. Like when I saw that article, I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is happening. It's the prophecy, man. Right? So now I'm gonna just finish up right here. Get ready to close it out. I mean, there's more in that. It's a lot more actually. But I'm just gonna finish up in the 51, Jeremiah 51 and 29, right, in 30. It said, and the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, which is America, to make the land Babylon, which is America, a desolation without an inhabitant, which we've been reading. The mighty men of Babylon, which is what? Their military, the American military, have forborne to fight. So everything was predestined. Just like we've been predestined to prophesy, they've been predestined to join the military and do all kind of wickedness and go get destroyed. And ultimately to fight against the Lord. Okay? So that's what this whole thing of this deployment, that's what's going to go down. You see? This is what's going to go down. All right? So again, it said the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. Their might have fell. See? They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. You know, these missile defense systems, everything is going to be broken down. The Most High is going to see to it that all those missiles that are targeted from everyone that's targeted to hit America will hit America. This is going to be turned into a lake of fire. The lake of fire is speaking about America, man. I don't know what them other knuckleheads is talking about, man. They ain't talking about the scriptures, man. But anyway, with that, I'm going to end it there. You know, just wanted to touch on the main point, again, of, you know, they deploying more and more troops, because this thing is going to keep building up. It's not going to die down, man. This is really, this is the end, you know. And hey, the elect, the hopeful elect, we got to keep watching as well as praying and fighting to endure unto the end. That's it. All right. But with that, I'm going to say, Kal Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom to you sincere Akim. Shalom.